Well, would you look at this behemoth, otherwise known as the kitchen of a 1960 Shasta. A little cobbled together. Notice there's a lot of cobbling. I mean, look at, I know, Shasta people, you're gonna get after me. But, man, they were just taking parts and pieces and putting them together and then putting something over the top. It was sturdy, I guess. It lasted a while. Anyway, and we're gonna change it, so I guess no glass house living here today. So let me show you a couple of things. This is where the stove went. And it's a stove and an oven. So it's got a cooktop, it's got an oven. The customer said that they want that back in there because they would like to have that and use it. So we were taking it apart, we cracked some pieces. Some pieces are damaged. We'll replace those. I think we're gonna work off of this though. I don't know how much we'll exactly use, but I think we're gonna use a lot of it. So that will remain where it is. There's gonna be no changes here other than new material. That's gonna be it, and an updated, stove brought up to code, I guess you would say. And there'll be 2 drawers. We saved the drawers, and hopefully they're in good enough shape. If not, we'll rebuild them. You've seen us do that earlier in a different kind of drawer, but we'll do that. And right here was just a lot of drawers. We're going to, right there is where that cutting board was. We talked about that an episode or 2 ago. Depending on how far we get, I'll show you what I did with that. It's different than we normally do. But what we're gonna do right here, we're gonna take some measurements and maybe use this whole area right here for the AC. We wanna bump the AC up a little bit higher. It's a bigger camper, and we want to start up here and be able to blow around to the bed. The bed would be back there. And this space down here, we always have to put in our air intake. But back here is, that's great camera work. Glad you stopped by. Back there will be the wheel well and a lot of the wheel well. So if we're coming out, let me get my tape right here. There it is, close up. If, let's say this is, don't have to say it. It is up against the wall. Visualize. So we've got 23 inches coming out. The first 14 of those is going to be taken up by the wheel well. So that's only going to give us 9 inches right in here to be able to put in our air intake, which would be plenty. It'll be plenty. But we may go ahead, we'll look at the outside. We may put the air intake vents right next to the exhaust, pointing the other way. That worked really well for us on Cinda's Scotty, so we may give that a try. Over here, this is where the sink goes. Sink right there. And we're going to come right down here. You can see on this one, under here, let me get this shelf that's going away anyway. Right there, that cutout is for the wheel well. So we're going to drop the shelf down. Let me get my pointing device out again. We're gonna drop this shelf down to right above the wheel well. So right above the wheel well, we'll build a very sturdy shelf that will take up all of this real estate right up until where the drain is. And that will be used for water storage. When they go off grid, our customers want to go off grid, so they'll be carrying some jerry cans. And we may down here make one of those pull-out drawers. I don't know if it's really called a drawer, but a pull-out, whatever it is. And we could come from there to there. That gives us about 8 inches. About 8 inches. So we could do one real similar to the first one we did that's going underneath the closet. Let me show you where this goes. So far, let me get over here. we got the floor put down. You saw that. So right there is our fancy dinette seating. And then this guy will go right there. We've got to make a decision on this. When I get around there, you can help me make this decision. So that'll go right there. And that's just like a splash guard for the oven or to keep the heat in. And also the splash to keep it off the people who might be sitting there eating or talking or playing cards or whatever you do at your dinette while the person is cooking. And then right from there, we've got, oh, wait a minute. That stove is going to sit right on the floor. It's probably going to go right up to the wheel well right there. It'll be real close. I'm going to take that measurement. So then the rest of the kitchen, that bottom 2 parts right there, that will sit from approximately here to somewhere in here. But that part will be under the bed. See that little nub hanging off the edge right there? That's under the bed. You'll never see that. There's no real reason to put it on there other than I guess they liked it because it's not storing anything. It's just hiding a wheel well. So then the bed will be all the way back here. All right, let me take some measurements. Let me take some assessments and another splash guard in case somebody's doing the dishes and you're trying to sleep. All right, I got to get to work. Well, I thought that this wouldn't take too long if I just rehabbed the original. I think I could have built this from scratch using this pattern in probably 90 minutes. It took me about 4 hours to redo it because you could see right there, I replaced that, replaced that, but with original wood. Redid all of this with screws. There's not a devil's nail in it. Of course, that's new. All of this is new, but it's old lumber from the trailer. So it's going to amber shellac right up because I haven't hit the sander yet. I've still got to putty this up and sand it down, and it'll all look like this when I'm done. So the stove sits right there. There'll be 2 shelves that I saved right there. I framed in for the AC. That's right there. And that's where the air will come in. Right down there if it were in the camper. And right here is going to be our storage for their jerry cans that they went and bought today. They're going to bring them to me tomorrow. And we replaced the wood over here. From here down really doesn't matter. It's going to be under the bed. So this will be real nice. I got to router that edge. I got to router that edge. There's some routering that needs to happen. We've got to round off this edge like we do our cabinets. And this edge needs to be rounded off like our cabinets are. That's not going to come any further over because that is sitting right up against the dinette seating on the not the door side. Whew, boy. And here's that cutting board that we've been talking about. That's the opening for it. I evened up on the top a little bit just so that, of course, I've got to, you see that, I got to router it. But it wasn't real even, so I evened that up so that we could put a 3/4 slab across the top of that. And then if you look real close over there, that's the original sink right there. Big old cast iron son of a gun. So I think I'm going to putty this up. And then I'm going to go inside the house. Come on, just take it to the house. That's it for today. And I'll sand it up probably tomorrow, maybe the next day. And then we can start amber shellacking all these pieces we built. Wanted to give you a quick update. We've been working on this kitchen. And I bet you I've got 10 hours in this thing. I could have built it from scratch in 90 minutes, but so much of it was reusable. So, you know me, I got to put the heart and soul back in. So I sanded down the 2 drawers that go underneath the stove. So those will go right there. And there was 4 Wilson Art. I have to take the router to it and router this out. So underneath the front of the stove will be right here. There was that Wilson Art and some trim. over here, we did make some changes. We trimmed this out, and we're going to put the AC right here. The AC is going to go right here. Here's a neat little cutting board. I've got to get the front put on it. I lost it. So either I'll make another one or I'm going to find it. But instead of making it a cutting board, it's going to be extra counter space. Pretty cool with the matching Wilson art. So, pretty cool, pretty cool. And over here is our storage under the sink, but they're going to put a jerry can under there, and that way they'll have some fresh water that when they are out boondocking, they can just have some drinking water and wash their hands right here. And here's the top. I bought some 3/4 ply, so I'll be cutting the 3/4 ply out here soon, and we'll get the sink dropped in right here, and then we will build out for our AC, put our holes for ventilation, and then out the back. You know what we do. We do what we do. We do it every time because it works. So replaced this over here. Of course, I haven't amber shellacked anything other than the walls, but haven't amber shellacked this yet. So I've got this to amber shellac. I've got the dinette seating to amber shellac. Got to amber shellac those. I'm working on another project, so I'm waiting until I get a bunch done. I'll amber shellac them all at the same time and just make a day out of it. It's not like painting where I hate to paint. I like to amber shellac. All right, we'll get it finished here shortly.